It is Saturday, July 20th, and it is time for the Madpixel Weekend News. I wasn't going to do a weekend news today because I had some other things going on, but you know what? Some interesting things came up. One, I'm only talking about this real quick because I want to have a couple things in order to have it be weekend news, but the next thing is what I really wanted to talk about. I'm just throwing this in. I'm sprinkling this in just so I have a couple things to talk about instead of just one. But all right, the FTC, they're blasting Microsoft's new degraded Xbox Game Pass standard tier and price increases. We talked about those price increases. It was a couple bucks. Regardless, it's price increase. It's annoying. FTC, they're annoyed with Microsoft because, you know, there are certain things that they're saying. Okay, they're saying it's a degraded product with the standard tier that, you know, they were led to believe things weren't going to change. There was going to be no harm to consumers. But with this merger and everything that happened with Blizzard, Activision, and whatnot, that Microsoft claimed, hey, there's going to be no harm. All this wonderful stuff was going to happen. None of these bad things were going to occur. And then after the fact, when everything was said and done, yeah, a lot of these bad things did start happening. You know, the closure of studios, layoffs, these subscription things going up, Call of Duty on Game Pass, all these weird things going down, the subscriptions going up, and then, you know, the lower tiered one kind of sucking, you know, as far as choice goes. So yeah, the FTC, they're not happy. So they filed this, you know, I guess this appeal. They have these appeals going, you know, it's lodged against them, right? Who knows what's going to happen? But whatever. There's no ruling. I guess they've been going after them on all this stuff. But yeah, there's this new one from July 18th. Federal Trade Commission writes to alert the court to Microsoft's announced price increase in the multi-game subscription cloud gaming markets, which this court found relevant to the merger analysts. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but they talk about the 17% year-over-year increase. Additionally, Microsoft is discontinuing its $10.99 console Game Pass product. Users of that product must pay 81% more to switch to Game Pass Ultimate. For consumers unwilling to pay 81% more, Microsoft's introducing a degraded product, Game Pass Standard, at $14.99 a month. This product costs 30% more than console Game Pass and withholds day one releases. Product degradation, removing the most valuable games from Microsoft's new service, combined with price increases for existing users, is exactly the sort of consumer harm from the merger that the FTC has alleged. Yeah. So that's going on. But okay, moving on. This just popped out of nowhere. SVC Chaos. SNK, Capcom, and an epic clash of titans, dude. Out today on Steam. This is also coming out on July 22nd in 2 boo-fooing days on the Nintendo Switch, PS4, and GOG. It's on Steam today. Not on Xbox, unfortunately. I don't know. I know people are like, why aren't these things getting announced on Xbox? I don't know. I own an Xbox. I'm not like anti-Xbox. I don't work for these freaking companies, dude. Now, I have some feelings here. I have some feelings, and I want to talk about it. So I remember seeing Let me clear my mind. Let me clear my brain, my soul, my emotions, so I could speak clearly. I remember SVC Chaos, seeing it in the arcade way back. This is 2003. It was a very late Neo Geo release. Okay, I remember seeing this in the arcade. I played it. I wasn't a huge fan. I was not. All new hitbox. They've like rollback netcode. They've got a lot of things going on here. I was not the hugest fan, mind you. I love Neo Geo fighters, especially Samurai Showdown. I know a lot of people love King of Fighters, stuff like that. There was a lot of the fighting games that I was very casual with that SNK put out. SVC Chaos, it was cool. I played it casually here and there on Neo Geo through emulation. That's kind of what I want to talk about. But I've played the game. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't the hugest fan. But if you want to play this game, there's been many ways. If you have an analog pocket, you could, you know, play it through FPGA, open FPGA. If you have a Mister, you could do it that way. If you have a real Neo Geo, if you have a flash card, if you have a computer, if you have a laptop, you have a Raspberry Pi, you can emulate it. And there's ways to play online as well. There is numerous ways to play this game. Okay? For free. But I am a big fan of companies releasing their games this way, putting, rollback netcode, introducing little tweaks and things. I'm a big fan of this for a few reasons. One of the reasons is that it introduces a more easily accessible community for people to play online, to meet up and play. I love that. You don't have to buy into it if you don't want to. It is a $20 game. Now, it comes out on the Switch in a couple days. That's probably where I would most likely want to buy it. But I don't know. There's no word if it's going to be a physical release. A lot of these physical releases, I think, that I've seen, like Code Mystics. Let me click what they've released with these guys. They've released like some of these games through like limited run games, or like I can't remember all the names, but these like little companies that release limited physical releases, right? So they've released a lot of these through those companies. Code Mystics has worked with those companies and released these games physically for PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. So is it possible that this game could get a physical release? Anything is possible. Who knows? But there is no announcement at this moment. Like I said, I'm a fan of this kind of stuff with all the things that they've done. Brand new rollback netcode, tournament modes, online matches. Awesome. A hitbox viewer, gallery mode. I love all that stuff. And like I said, you don't have to be into it if you don't want to. That's fine. No big deal, right? Like, you don't have to buy into these kind of games that, might look like, oh, it's just a game being emulated. That is what it is, essentially, but with some tweaks, right? With some things added in, with whatever they're doing behind the scenes with it. You don't have to jump into that, but I like it just because it becomes a more easily accessible community for a lot of people. That is sweet. And it can open up even more things happening. To see SNK versus Capcom, SVC Chaos come out, like, cool game. But I think the bigger game would be Capcom versus SNK, like 2. That would be awesome. So maybe that can open the door to stuff like that coming out, like getting re-released and having, some additional features, online play. We see the Capcom Marvel collection coming out. So this could open the door to even more stuff, maybe even future collaborations and things like that. That could be really cool. I'm going to jump into this. But I may wait for the Switch version. That way I could play with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys out there are on the Switch or on my Switch friends list type of thing. Maybe we'll do some live streams. I'm planning on doing a lot more live streams, especially like the Nintendo Championship stuff. Like that's got to be cool, man. Doing some live streams with that. So I think I'll grab this on the Switch in a couple days. That way we could play together, man. But there you go. That was the Madpixel Weekend news. Just a couple things. This was the one I was more excited to talk about. So there you go. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.